quantum paradigm, redefining possibilities.
Have you ever had one of those brilliant ideas for a website, but then you just stopped because you thought, I can't code? Well, that barrier, it's pretty much gone. We are right in the middle of this massive revolution where building a website is shifting from, a months-long coding marathon to a simple conversation with an AI. So how is this actually happening, and what does it mean for all of us? Let's get into it. And look, this isn't some kind of far-off future trend. The numbers are in, and they are just staggering. According to Stack Overflow's latest survey, 76% of developers are already using or planning to use AI tools in their work. I mean, that is a huge jump from just a year ago. The revolution isn't coming, it's already here. And this really puts the sheer scale of this change into perspective. The old way meant spending months on painstaking code, needing these massive budgets, and having to hire a whole team of experts. The new way, well, now you can get a professional level website in just minutes by describing what you want, and you can do it for little to no cost without being a technical genius. And this really puts the sheer scale of this change into perspective. The old way meant spending months on painstaking code, needing these massive budgets, and having to hire a whole team of experts. The new way, well, now you can get a professional level website in just minutes by describing what you want, and you can do it for little to no cost without being a technical genius. People are calling it vibe coding. So instead of writing all these lines of code to define a button's color or where it goes, you just tell the AI, hey, I want a minimalist, modern vibe for my online art portfolio. Or maybe you say, I want a playful, energetic vibe for my kids' toy store. And boom, the AI gets to work, generating bright colors, fun fonts, and cool interactive elements. You're basically describing a feeling, and the AI is building the function. It's incredible. So who gets to use all this power? Well, the first and maybe the biggest group is everyone who isn't a professional developer. Let's take a look at the tools that are totally leveling the playing field for small businesses and entrepreneurs. First up, you've got Web Builder. They've really positioned themselves as a true all-in-one AI powerhouse. It's not just about building a site. It's about weaving AI into every single step of creating and managing your online presence. Just imagine you're a small business owner for a second. With a platform like Wix, you don't have to hire a separate copywriter or a designer or an SEO expert. Its AI can write your website copy, create entire sections, edit your images, and even analyze your pages in real time to tell you how to rank higher on Google. It can even tweak the tone of the text to make sure your brand voice is always consistent. It's like having a whole marketing and design agency right at your fingertips. But okay, what if you're just starting out and you don't have a big budget? Well, that's where a tool like Hostinger comes in. Hostinger is the champion for startups, offering these incredibly powerful features that used to cost an absolute fortune. You can literally just give it a business name, a type, and a short description, and it will generate a full website. But the killer feature here is the AI heat map. This tool shows you exactly where your visitors are looking and clicking on your site. This kind of data is absolutely crucial for understanding your customers and making your site better. And now it's accessible to literally everyone. Okay, so AI is empowering non-coders for sure. But what about the professionals? This is where the story gets really interesting. For developers, AI isn't a replacement. It's the ultimate assistant. It's a Copilot that handles all the grunt work so they can focus on the big picture, on architecture and creative problem solving. And the industry standard here, without a doubt, is GitHub Copilot. The best way to think about it is like having a senior developer who has seen billions of lines of code, never sleeps, and is always ready to help you finish your thoughts in real time. What makes this so powerful is that it understands the context of your entire project. It doesn't just suggest the next line of code. It can generate entire complex functions just from a simple comment you write in plain English. And now, with the introduction of a free tier this professional grade tool is available to every single developer on the planet, from students to senior engineers. So we've seen the tools for individuals and for the pros, but what happens when you zoom out? Well, this revolution is having a massive impact on the entire economy. It's changing jobs and completely reshaping the economics of even being online. So the big question is AI coming for developers' jobs? The data might actually surprise you. A full 70% of professional developers do not see AI as a threat. They see it as a collaborator, something that frees them from all the tedious, repetitive tasks so they can focus on the more creative and architectural parts of their work. The big question is AI coming for developers' jobs? The data might actually surprise you. A full 70% of professional developers do not see AI as a threat. They see it as a collaborator, something that frees them from all the tedious, repetitive tasks so they can focus on the more creative and architectural parts of their work. But that optimism is balanced with some very real concerns. The number one ethical worry among developers isn't job loss, it's misinformation. 79% are concerned about AI generating inaccurate or just plain false information. And right behind that is the issue of source attribution. If an AI writes the code, who really owns it? These are the huge questions the industry is grappling with right now. The economic impact of all this is like an earthquake. The cost to get a professional web presence has basically dropped to zero. You can launch an idea in hours instead of months. And most importantly, the quality of design and functionality that used to be exclusive to big corporations is now available to any small business. It's a total democratization of the digital marketplace. So with all this change happening so fast, how do you actually get started? In our last section here, we'll give you some clear, practical advice so you can begin your own AI journey, no matter what your background is. So here's what you can do. If you're a business owner, just jump into any builder and start exploring. If you're aspiring devs, use AI to speed up learning, but don't skip the fundamentals. You've got to know enough to guide and correct the AI. And if you're a pro developers, start integrating a tool like Copilot into your workflow to automate the repetitive stuff. It'll free you up for the big picture thinking. Which brings us to our final thought. For decades, the great challenge of the web was the how, right? How do we build this complex thing? Now, AI is increasingly taking care of the how. So the real question for the future might just be, what do we want to build? With all the technical barriers just falling away, the only true limit left might be the scope of our own imagination.